Now go back to the point that, you were in the guy's office and you were basically telling him what he was going to do, right? Were you married at this point? Were you with family and children and all that good stuff?
No, I was a single dude.
Gotcha. Um, you have a family now, though.
Yes, yes.
How has that affected how you approach your business?
It affects how I deal with my team now. Back then, I was more ruthless, right? I wasn't very sensitive to people's feelings. Like, I build sales organizations. I'm a motivational speaker, sales trainer, right? I train at big Remax offices and Central 21 offices and stuff like that. And so, with my personal sales teams, I was very like hardcore, right? Now, having a son and a wife has made me more soft. Not in a bad way, but I'm more thoughtful about other people's opinions, and I'm not as tough. As far as my approach, for example, if I put myself now and then with George, again, like you said, that I basically told him what to do, I would have probably had a very similar approach now, because I know that I was providing something good for him. I wasn't too hard. And I figured I don't have anything to lose, man. This guy, why in the world wouldn't you hire a commission-only salesperson that's not even asking for a chair? I wouldn't even ask you for a chair. Like, I would love to have 100 people like that, right? So, and I figured he's already saying no, I might as well put him in his place and stuff and close him, right? And that's what happened. He's actually a friend of mine till this day.
Yeah, I do understand that. When I was in the and I get what you're saying about being a little bit more sensitive to others now that you're older. I mean, I remember when I was going back to when I was in the Kirby business. You heard of Kirby vacuums before, I'm sure,
oh, yeah,
right?
My mom has one.
Yeah. And I was in the Kirby business. Before I had children, if I had a salesperson that had a child and had to take a day off or couldn't come in, I didn't want to hear that. I didn't understand it. But after I had children, you know what I mean? Then I understood it then, you know what I mean?
Right.
So, where you talk to me just a little bit, man, about it seems, I mean, it not seems, you have an extreme amount of confidence in your own ability. Where you think that comes from? And I'm saying that because of the things that you said. I mean, again, you're confident enough to go to someone's office and say, hey, look, you need to hire me, right? You're confident enough to say, you know what, I can get my social security number by going to the service, boom, this decision. Just make the decision. Don't even sound like you're thinking about it too much. Where would you talk to me about that? Just making the decision and just making it happen.
Well, that's a great question, because you made me kind of like, in these couple seconds that you're asking the question, you made me kind of dig, and then I realized, no, it comes before that, then it comes before that. And so, for example, it really comes back to when I used to compete at a high level. And then even then it goes back to when I was probably 6, right? Because when I was like 7 or 8, there was this kid that was a bully in my apartment complex. And my brother and I are playing, and I'm throwing a football to him, and he's throwing it back. And this guy's right there, and he was the son of actually his sister was a gang member, a big LA gang called Florence 13. And so very scary people, right? The mom was cool. The sister was actually cool, but this kid was little, badass kid, right? And so he was just like standing right there, like 5, like maybe 7 feet away from me, just with his hands crossed, saying a bunch of bad words to me, right? Just picking a fight. And I was scared of him. And I remember thinking, he's throwing the ball, and before that, I had a stepdad, right? So my youngest brother, his dad was our stepdad for a few years. Before that, this guy had punked me, right? And then my stepdad saw. And then this guy literally goes up. I was right there at the door of my apartment. My stepdad was sitting down in the couch in the living room. And he saw that this kid walks up and literally punches me in the face, right? And I didn't do anything. And my stepdad says, hey, man, go and hit him back. Tough Mexican man says, go hit him back. How are you going to let somebody punk you like that in Spanish, right? He's telling me. And I didn't do anything. I froze. And then I remember thinking, man, I should have gone and hit him back. Who cares if you would have lost? But you shouldn't have done that, right? And so I kind of had, so now this other day, I'm throwing the ball back and forth, throwing it back and forth. This guy's just standing because he already pumped me. So now he's just going to, and then in that environment that you grew up, that's kind of like, it's like you got to stand up for yourself. Even if you fight them and they beat you up, they look at you different because you stood up for yourself.
Exactly, exactly.
And I remember thinking, I'm fighting them today. It's just a matter of within the next minute or the next 3 minutes. But this dude doesn't know, but I'm going to rush him right now. And I'm going to fight him, and I'm going to throw caution to the wind. So I remember I threw the ball, and he's saying some very ugly things, right? Things that you wouldn't imagine an 8-year-old would say. And so I throw the ball, and I think to myself, as soon as the ball comes back, I'm going to catch the ball, and instead of throwing it to my brother, I'm going to throw it at this dude's face. He's only like 7 feet away from me. Then I'm going to run at him, and I'm going to just start wailing on him, right? So sure enough, I throw the ball, my brother throws it back, and I do exactly that. Instead of going this way, I go this way. Boom! So now this guy gets hit, and I run at him, and I just start punching him. Not in the face, but in the chest, right? Boom! Because as kids, you didn't really punch, even though you were really mad back then, we didn't punch each other in the face, right? But I did throw the ball at his face. So I hit him in the chest, and he falls. Then I fall on top of him, and then I start punching him in the chest, right? And I'm screaming at him, right? Then my neighbor starts screaming my name, Juan. Back then they call me, my name is Juan Carlos, but everybody calls me JC now. Back then they called me by my first name, Juan. Juan, get off of him, get off of him. And then I hold him down and I grab his neck and I say, something along the lines of, not to mess with me anymore. You're going to mess with me. If not, I'm not going to get off and blah, blah. But I'm mad, right? He sees. So he finally says, no, it's cool. So I get up and I'm kind of like ready for him to do something again. And he just goes inside. The mom goes in and comes out and tells my mom, you know what? I'm going to, those hits that your son gave my son, I'm going to give them to you. She was a Salvadorian lady. So my mom was like, okay, right? My mom was not a troublemaker and stuff. And then I told my mom, look, Mom, here's why I did it. She said, that's fine, son. You stood up for yourself. That's fine. And so right there, I realized, damn, I'm a lot stronger and I could do stuff that are scary to me. So then I joined karate. My mom surprised us one day because my mom could never afford to put me in karate. So she takes us to a karate school one day. She pays 1 month. She pays 2 months. And by the way, I'm like in karate. I was an obese kid, by the way. I was fat, bro, real fat. So I started losing a lot of weight. And I was in karate from 4 to 9 every day, bro. I would take 3 classes. Then I would stay with the adults, right? And then certain days out of the week, the adult, I happened to be a part of a karate school that was full of world champions. Like it was a real, because there's some karate schools where you got a 6-year-old, 7, 8, 9-year-old kid with a black belt. That's not a real karate school. It takes a lot of years and you got to really know how to fight to have a black belt. So anytime you see that, it's not a real school. It's more of a money-making school, right?
Makes sense.
So, yeah, because they don't even make their kids spar because they'll get hurt, so they lose kids. So they have a very soft style. They don't make them fight, and they, and then they promote them a lot, and, kids stay. So the one I was at was in the hood. So they were like, no, every Wednesday and Friday is fight day, every class. So we would fight every Tuesday and Friday. And then after class, whoever wanted to fight, they fought after class. And so I started to learn how to fight. And so I learned a lot in martial arts that I could accomplish and do things that I didn't think was possible. First of all, I lost a lot of weight. Then I had a bully, right, that before I joined karate, another guy, right, that was older than me that would always bully me. Then I had a friend, Wilmer, who had like a skinny, short leg. He was born like that, but he was real buff, but he couldn't run. So this dude, his name was Lupillo, he took my friend Wilmer's bike and Wilmer couldn't chase him. And I felt bad because Wilmer used to protect me as kids. And so I'm visiting the old block because we moved to the same city, but a different area that was kind of far. That's when I joined karate. So when I come back, this particular event's where my confidence boosted up and I realized, because this dude used to always beat me up. I had gotten in fights with him and he used to beat me up. So what happens is I get there, he takes Wilmer's bike and Wilmer screams at him. I never forget. He screams at him and he says, give me my bike back, Lupillo, or I'm going to sock your ass. That's what he said, right? So then I blurted out, man, I'll sock his ass if he don't give you his bike back. But see, I never talked to that dude like that. That dude that beat me up a bunch of times. So as soon as he hears it, he says, what? Now he didn't care about Wilmer. He didn't care about the bike. He was done playing. Now he rides the bike back real fast. And I realized, damn. So Wilmer looks at me kind of like, you need me to help you. Then I tell Wilmer, nah, it's cool. Now, I don't know. This stuff has been working at the karate school. I've been beating up bigger guys. Now let's see if it works here, because I know this guy, Lupia, and he grew up with like 4 brothers and like 2 sisters. Big family, all troublemakers, always fighting. You know those kids with like the metal teeth and always have scars on their face? That's how they were, bro. Like, you know, kids with metal teeth are always the biggest troublemakers, right? Then, so this dude comes up like, what you say? What'd you say? And he comes, I say, hey man, I said to give him his bike back. So he's approaching me real fast. And then he throws a punch and I move. And I totally saw the punch coming. I'm like, damn. Then he kicks me in the leg and it felt super weak. And at that moment I realized, oh, I'm gonna lay this dude out, because he can't fight. He doesn't know how to throw a proper punch. And then he just kicked me, what he thinks is hard. And I get kicked way harder than that. So soon as he kicked me, all fear went away.
Yeah.
And I said, oh, you think you know karate? And I call him the B word. I don't want to cuss, right? So I said, oh, you think you know karate? Automatically, everything changed.
Yeah.
I kick him twice in the legs, and his whole body moves, right? And then I said, come on, let's go. Now I'm very confident. Then he comes, and he tries to throw a punch, and I hit him in the nose. I probably broke his nose because he immediately started bleeding all over the place. Then I kicked him like a Van Damme kick. Boom. It's called a roundhouse kick in the chin. And he falls against a fence that's all wobbly. And the fence is falling over, and he's dragging down on the fence. And then I'm standing over him with my hands like this. And I say, let's go, you know, M, right? And he gets up, and I'm ready to fight him. And he just looks at my friend Robert and says, this guy beat my ass. And he just starts walking home, bleeding, blood everywhere. And I got there my rollerblades. So I got in my rollerblades, and I went home, and I was happy. That was like the happiest I've been on my rollerblades.
Rocky music all the way home.
So that right there, then I did it a bunch of times in karate. There was guys that would beat me up, and then I would train hard for months, and then I would beat them. Then I realized, dude, I could do like a lot of stuff. Like there was times that I felt like I'm super good. It's hard to believe that I could get any better in even a year. Then I would get a lot better. So the point is, I had overcome a lot of stuff in my life early on, right? Like I had guns pulled on me, shotguns pulled on me, knives pulled on me in the neighborhood we grew up in. And so I'd been around, I had seen some things. Then I realized, man, almost, I hate to say it like this, but yeah, when I was younger, almost like an arrogance of myself. And I wouldn't like tell people like I'm better than you or nothing like that, but I just would feel like I could do so much more than you can. Not like, but the thing is that I know, like when we were door knocking, you know that you saw a lot of people quit door knocking, yes or no?
Absolutely.
And I knew, I don't care. Like we would do days of O and door knocking. I go, let's say you were there for an interview, and I took you as a day of O. If I took you as a day of O and you joined my team. But we wouldn't make money on you until I became an assistant manager or a manager. But on your day of O, I have to take you out. It's called day of observation. And I have to take you out, and I got to pay you $50. It comes out of my money. So there was times where I'll take a day of O. I make $20, bro. All my day, gas, and I still had to pay you $50. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm negative 30 plus negative my gas plus negative my day. And I was still like, it's going to be worth it. One day I'm going to be a manager. I'm going to run my own office. I'm going to make overrides away the manager here. The manager then was 25, making $250,000 a year in 2001. I was like, it doesn't matter. So I had this grit that was developed because of the people I hung out with, because of the experiences that I had, right? The personal development that I did, because I started reading books at 18, personal development books. I started reading them. Then I started studying successful people that went through things, and I admired people that went through adversity and overcame adversity. Then I said, I can overcome anything. So that's why, you know, when I'm a part of any organization, I do have that aura of me that, yes, I am the man, I'm worth it. Now, I don't say that to people, but that's where my confidence comes from because of so many things that I've overcome in my life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And there's people that have overcome significantly more, but, you know,